Good evening, everyone. This is a long Lola lesson, so we're going to jump right in. If you were here, the fire would be on because it got cold again, and the candles would be lit, and a cup of tea would be in your hand, and we would be sitting around the fire talking about collaboration. So here we go. I don't want to do this alone anymore. And she looked at me and said, me neither. After 25 years of building a business on my own and 28 years in a very isolating relationship, I spoke my truth. And with those words spoken aloud and witnessed and mirrored, everything changed. As I start on the next chapter of my life, I know deeply we were never meant to do this alone. But what does that mean? What is community? What is collaboration? And how do we remember what we have lost and move forward with so little practice in the art of connecting collaboratively? What if I asked you to write about your knowing of collaboration? What if I asked you to put storytelling and yourself into that writing? Add the element of water and the concept or the words. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. What would you share? This is my story. If you ever see me around a newborn, you might wonder what it is I'm whispering as I look deep into their eyes. I saw this video once of a young boy closing the door in his room where he slept with his baby sister. He crawled into her crib and whispered intently, "Quick, tell me everything you know. I'm starting to forget." So what am I whispering? Quick, tell me everything you know, because I think we've forgotten. We were born of water, a droplet in a vast energetic ocean. We were all born knowing our interconnectedness, intrinsically intertwined with every other energy and person on the planet. I was born into a body that knows collaboration, everything working together for a like purpose to keep me alive. I was born into a natural world whose heart is collaboration, beating in shared purpose. The flowers and the bees, the soil and the trees, the birds and the seas, all distinct, yet strengthening the whole. Yet I was born to parents who had forgotten, and a society that whispered of disconnection and independence. We were handed quiet scripts of separation, spoken not in outright commands, but in the subtle, relentless rhythm of distrust and competition. Win or lose, win or lose. Win or lose. We were trained out of our knowing of collaboration. My father was part of the resistance in Denmark during the Second World War, and then came to Canada and married a Jewish woman. He taught me there was an us and a them, and we needed to protect us at all costs. Protect me and mine, be afraid of the other. Us or them, us or them, us or them. So the subtle scripts of distrust began. My parents taught me that my brother, because he was a boy, could do more and have more freedom, and my sister, because she was younger and sensitive, would get more care and attention. So I learned to compete for the attention, for my fair share, because it was not fair, not fair, not fair. And the subtle scripts continued as they became my rivals instead of my allies. And then I went to school, and my best friend got me into trouble because I had read an English book for my French book report and got a better mark than her. I started to notice how often my friends came up to me to ask me about my marks and how their behavior changed towards me depending on those marks. I started to understand that we were vying for marks on paper, for fleeting titles, for the gold star pinned to our chests. Stand out. Be better, smarter, faster. Better, smarter, faster. The subtle scripts kept whispering. If you do not rise above the rest, you'll be left behind. So I started to feel disconnected and distrustful, and I chose to go it alone. It was easier. It was faster. And faster was better, right? And so ever so subtly, systematically, I was trained out of my knowing and the creative collaborative energy that is that knowing. The waters within me became dammed up and created an island of one, surrounded by other islands of one. And everyone kept competing and telling me there was not enough to go around, not enough to go around. And then I met a man who mirrored and reinforced this separation. He clutched his knowledge close, lest someone copy or steal it, demanding everyone who shared it to give him credit. He needed to shine bigger and brighter. Everyone on his island expected to support him, follow him, put him on a pedestal, rather than collaborate as equals. And because I was no longer in my knowing, because it was familiar, because it mirrored the distrust of my father and the competition and the separation of my friends, my schooling, and my society, I stepped onto his island. We built a castle out of sand and smoke and mirrors, built on like-minded ideas and old scripts. Win or lose, us or them, not fair, better, faster, smarter, not enough to go around. And unencumbered by a like-purpose community's perspective, I was able to go fast, so fast, but I was alone, so alone, sitting in a castle of sand. So when my castle collapsed, as sand castles inevitably do, I was left alone in a body that was diseased, and a mind so confused, questioning the scripts I had been taught. For when we are told to stand alone, to carry all burdens upon our own backs, we are severed from the deeper nourishment that connection provides, and that is not benign. So I looked inside to a body that knows collaboration, and walked and sat in nature whose heart is collaboration. And I longed. I was never meant to do this alone. And then one day I walked into a room where sound healed and song spiraled, and I was told to come as I am. And the sound and the songs and the community weaved my knowings back together, and I remembered. So I reached out, and a circle of women reached back, and instead of pulling me onto their island, they pulled me back to the water, back to my knowing. And since then, the mountains I've had to climb have been easier, the roads I've traveled smoother, the long cold nights shorter, filled with warmth, connection, laughter, and yes, collaboration. Where once I went fast alone, lonely, untethered, capacity smaller, vision limited, now connected, tethered, capacity and vision limitless, I remember. I was born of water, as were all of you. And water does not lose itself when joined. It gains strength, power, and the ability to carve canyons, nourish forests, mirror the sky. In collaboration, water flows as streams merging to become a river, an ocean. Each one of us, each droplet surrendering its solitary path to move together towards something greater. So for me, collaboration is remembering, together strong, together true, together one, together through. Remembering to release the old scripts and go far together. That's all I'm going to say tonight. I hope it sits well with you. It has done my heart good to write that down and share it with you. I hope it resonates. Have a great night.